Now, we discuss one nature of obligation. What is obligation? Obligation means the act of binding oneself to some duty, to some contract, to some promise. It is binding someone to do something. It arises out of a sense of duty. Obligation clearly is a two-way situation. It is a relational concept. It is used for a relation between individual persons. One is, for example, under an obligation to someone else, people are say used to be greatly obliged to one another. It is used for relation between a person and an institution such as the government. Article 1163. Every person obliged to give something is also obliged to take care of it with the proper diligence of a good father of a family, unless the law or the stipulation of the parties requires another standard of care. So what do you mean this article? In Article 1163 is stated that every person obliged to give something. Something pertains thing, and specify generic and specific. Now, I will discuss what is a specific thing and the generic thing. A specific thing or determinate thing is a thing is said to be specific or determinate when it is particularly designated or physically segregated from all others of the same class. It cannot be substituted with another by a debtor even if it is of the same kind and quality without the consent of the creditor. For example, Mr. E obliged to deliver one sack of Japanese rice to Mr. B. In this scenario, it specifies what brand of the one sack of rice. Generic or indeterminate thing is a thing is generic or indeterminate when it refers only to a class or genus which it pertains and cannot be pointed at what particularly. It not a specific thing. The debtor can give anything of the same class as long as it is of the same kind. For example, Mr. A obliged to deliver one sack of rice to Mr. B. So, it means in that scenario, they didn't specify what kind of brand of rice. So, let's get back to the Article 1163 which speaks to the diligence of the father of family. What does it mean? First, let's take a sample definition of diligence. Diligence is attention and care required of a person in a given situation and is the opposite of negligence. Ordinarily, the father is the head of the family, not the mother. The father should perform voluntarily his duties to provide support and protect his family. A good father does not abandon his family. He occupies a place of honor and leadership in the family. For an instant, his surname is carried over to his children and subsequent male generation. A good father is a person who can always be depended upon, guided by a good conscience and doing good and avoiding evil. He must protect and prevent the causing of injuries or damages to others. Remember, the term good father does not only describe diligent act of a person. It can be a man or a woman and whether single or married. Article 1163 says that a person is obliged to give something. In general rule, a person is obliged to give something. Must observe ordinary diligence. Another standard of care. The degree of diligence must not be inferior to the diligence of a good father of the family. Anything lower than this would be against public policy and good customs. The duties of debtor to give a determinate thing or specific thing. First, take care, preserve the thing. This to provide with a proper diligence of the good father of the family. Another standard of care or extraordinary diligence. Factors to be considered. nature, circumstances, person, time, place. The second duties is to deliver the thing. The third duties to deliver the fruits of the thing. There are three kinds of fruits under the law. First, natural fruits, produce of the soil. This without human intervention. Example, puno kusa nagbunga. The second fruits is industrial fruits, produced by the lands through cultivations and labor with human intervention. Example, roots or bunga ng pagtatrabaho. The third fruits is civil fruits, results of juridical relation. Nagkakaroon ng fruits because of the law. The fourth duties is to deliver it accessions and accessories even if they have not been mentioned. The last is answer for damages in case of non-fulfillment or breach. Duties of debtor to give an indeterminate thing or generic thing. First is to deliver a thing which is of the quality intended by the parties, taking into consideration the purpose of the obligation and other circumstances, and second, to be liable for damages in case of fraud, negligence, or delay in the performance of his obligation or contravention of tenor thereof.
That's all. Thank you and God bless us all.